It's Johanna, and I'm here with my BookTubeAthon 2016 wrap-up video. And I have a paper because, like last year, I am terrible at remembering things. The first book I read was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. No, 186 pages. C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And this counted for 2 challenges: read a book that's older than you, and read a book and watch the book to movie adaptation. So I watched Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and I read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And so this one counted for 2 challenges. The next book I read was C.S. Lewis's Prince Caspian, which counted for the first challenge, which is read a book with yellow on the cover. This book was 216 pages. And then the next book I read was Voyage of the Dawn Treader, also by C.S. Lewis. And this one counted for just 1 challenge, which was read a book by your favorite author, or one of your favorite authors. And I've always really liked C.S. Lewis's books, but it was really nice to just reread a bunch of his books that I haven't read since I was like 7 or 8. Basically when Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out, like the movie, like a year after that, I was like reading all the books, I think. Whenever that was. It was sometime between 2004 and 2009. I know that much. And this one was 216 pages as well. And then I read George's Marvelous Medicine by Roald Dahl. Anyways, I read this only after sunset, so it counted for that challenge. And it was 89 pages. But it's a really weird book, like most of Roald's books. But it was really fun just to read it, and there's like a bunch of pictures. All these pictures. And I really love the illustration style in his books. But I read this one only after sunset, and it was a really quick read. And then I read Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I got used last year. Spine is broken. And there's no dust jacket. But this one I actually really liked. I wasn't expecting to like it so much. I think I gave it 4 stars. But it was really cool reading it because, like, there's 4 girls and they go their separate ways over the summer, and that's kind of what's happening with some of my friends and I. We're all busy working, and so we don't hang out as much as we used to. So it was really cool to kind of read it, but there's still a lot of friendship that happens. It was a pretty good book, and I mean, I probably won't read it again, but I'm going to finish the series, I think, or at least the ones I own. So this one counted for 1 challenge, I think. Yeah, read a book you discovered through BookTube. I feel like I had heard about it on BookTube, and then I read it, then I bought it. But I might have just found it and like, oh, that's an interesting book, but it just kind of sat on my shelf for like months. And then I believe it was read by Zoe was talking about it. Like, she read it, and I was like, hey, maybe I should actually read it sometime. And so I picked it up for BookTubeAthon. And this one was 294 pages. Then I read The Silver Chair by C.S. Lewis. And so I picked up the audiobook for Peter Pan, which I don't have because it was through my library and it was an audiobook, so it was just on my phone. So I really liked Peter Pan. I've never read it, I've never watched a Disney movie, but I was like, I don't know if anybody's had this because not everybody just didn't watch Disney movies as a kid, but I like know the story for most of the movies somehow. And so I knew what was going to happen for Peter Pan. Basically most of the big plot points, like Tiger Lily on the rock and Peter Pan eventually disposing of Captain Hook and all those different plot points. But I've never read it and I really enjoyed it, even though I felt like I knew the story. But there were so many elements I didn't know. Like the dog that was the nanny. And the fact that Mr. Darling stayed in Nana's cage. Mr. Darling never came out of Nana's cage for the whole time while the kids were away. But anyways, that was my BookTubeAthon 2016 wrap-up. I ended up reading a total of 7 books, a total page count of 1,394. And I didn't read all those pages because for all of the Narnia books and Peter Pan, I got the audiobook as well from my library. And I feel like that was really helpful because I was working all BookTubeAthon. And there were some days I didn't feel like sitting and reading, so I just listened to my audiobook and was downstairs sewing or going for a walk or something like that. In addition to Peter Pan, I read all these books. So I read 7 books for BookTubeAthon 2016. And I must say, I'm pretty proud of myself. Bye! I'm gonna go read Codename Verity now.